Our first comment is from Alexander G, who had this to say.
Think deeper, you vegetarian idiot. If we don't eat the pig, we don't breed the pig. If we don't breed the pig doesn't exist. Is it better to live and be killed, or not to live at all? You are all self-righteous idiots with nothing real to worry about. Look in the mirror and see your ancestors' disapproval of your pathetic soybean-eating asses. Get it together.
This argument has always perplexed me. Is it better to live a short life of torment, fear, and death, or not to live at all? Perhaps others will have a different opinion. However, I would not want to live. If we look back in history, when slaves were brought over from Africa to the New World, there was a high rate of death on these ships from disease and suicide. These once free men and women, coming to grips with their future as property, chose to end it all. You can find it even in today's society, especially in the LGBT community, where children and teens are bullied by their peers to such an extent that they find escape only through ending their lives. We also see it in the highly debated physicians-assisted suicides, where terminally ill patients in tremendous pain and anguish wish to die early. We can clearly see that when we talk about humans and suffering, we can see, right or wrong, a willingness to end one's own life to end suffering. Yet when it comes to other animals of the non-human variety, we seem to protect our desire for flesh and the continuation of exploitation of the animal's body and life. Onto this supposed self-righteousness that vegans are often accused of. Sure, there are asshole vegans and vegetarians, but don't kid yourself. You have a healthy supply of them in the general public too. Do you go around accusing people who are against racism as self-righteous? How would you feel if a person who thinks that slavery, racism, or sexism is a good thing came up to you and accused you of being self-righteous because you believe these are morally wrong? People are extremely sensitive regarding their personal lifestyle choices. Everything from diet, weight, smoking, religion, politics, and even fashion. If anyone makes a critical comment regarding any of these topics, the gloves come off. If the critical comment pertains to moral and immoral behavior, the tolerance level drops off the scale. Nobody likes their actions and habits criticized because nearly everyone has a high opinion of themselves, and their beliefs are part of their identity. Human history is fraught with immoral beliefs held by people who defended them tooth and nail. Veganism requires an examination of many of our daily choices, everything from what we choose to put in our mouth 3 times a day or more, to what kind of clothing and furniture we buy. I couldn't care less what you think of me as a person, as my vegan activism is motivated by justice, and not any self-centered ego masturbation. Our second comment is from CZamZ, who said,
I respect the veggie viewpoint. However, I will keep eating meat. Most of these animals would have never been born if it were not for the demand. I only support free range, etc. Whilst this does not change the fact the animals are killed, they deserve as best life as possible. On the flip side, dairy products don't kill the animal, so I struggle more with that vegan viewpoint.
CZamZ starts off with the identical argument that our previous commenter did, so I will not repeat myself here again. Onto his support of supposedly free-range animal products that he feels gives the animals the best life possible. Firstly, the best life possible would be one where animals are not human property. The animal's life, relationships, choice of home, freedom of movement all belong to the animal himself or herself. Many of these animals we have domesticated to eat were descendant from animals that roamed vast tracts of land and chose who they interacted with and who they mated with. No animal farming operation today can fully recreate a truly free life for farmed animals and remain profitable. Secondly, this fantasy of free range is more about marketing than about any real welfare animal improvements. The term free range has no legal meaning and no government regulation. The same applies to terms like cage-free or humanely raised. These terms are more about making people feel better about consuming animal products and thereby increase sales and profits, and less about any concern for the animals themselves. And thirdly, we do not need to eat animals to be healthy. The issue should not be about how we treat animals, but rather should be focused on why we use them at all. We have no nutritional requirement to eat other animals, and we can be perfectly healthy on a fully vegan diet. Then what justification do we have for enslaving and killing even well-treated animals? If it is wrong to harm animals unnecessarily, this would surely include instances where we harm animals for fun or pleasure. Is that not the primary reason why we allow 56 billion animals killed each year? For palate pleasure. Onto the comment regarding dairy. In order for dairy cows to produce milk, they must be made pregnant. This results in a baby calf. Some of these calves are raised to be future dairy cows, while many others end up in the meat industry as veal. When the dairy cow's milk supplies begins to diminish, she is sent off to slaughter to be made into burgers or pet food. Dairy cows live longer, torturous lives with infected udders, have their young ones taken away from them and then slaughtered all the same. If forced with violence, I would sooner eat a steak than consume dairy, as there is much more suffering in a glass of milk than in a piece of meat. Next, we have a comment from J187U who said,
"And you are a rational one? Posting vegan and atheistic shit on YouTube? Like that's important?" Basically, there are people living in horrendous conditions across the globe, dying of malnutrition or under occupation like the Palestinian people. But I don't see any videos about those situations on your channel. Typical vegan hypocrite, caring for fucking animals more than for humans. That's fucking rational.
You may not care much about other sentient non-human animals, but some people, like myself, do. It's not that I care less for humans and more for animals. I care for all animals regardless of their species. My reasons to go vegan are primarily regarding the moral argument. But there are very strong cases to be made that being vegan is also generally healthier, better for the environment and the health of the planet, and better for humans as a social matter. The reasons I focus my attention in videos on the plight of non-human animals is that I see a lack of attention on this very issue. There are multi-million-dollar charities across the whole planet working on human issues, and comparatively few working on issues that relate to non-human animals. As a vegan, I realize that it's not only about the animals we enslave and kill for food, but it's also part of a larger social justice movement, fighting to end slavery and discrimination, improve the rights of minorities, women's rights, are issues of justice and fairness. And it's about time we extend our fight to the rights of sentient beings outside our own species. I'm not suggesting that cows should have the right to vote, or chickens the right to hold office. I'm fighting for the one right to not be the sole property of another. As property, animals do not have the right to their own bodies, and their owners have the legal right to terminate them at any point for any reason. It is my contention that we should fight to end the property status of animals and to join with other social justice issues to combat discrimination based upon irrelevant criteria, irrespective of species. Trucker9358 wanted to inform us that
the book of Proverbs deals with many practical subjects as well as spiritual ones. In this verse, we are given advice on hunting. It is not wrong to hunt. However, Proverbs 12:27 says that the man who hunts for game and kills it and does not take possession of it for eating is a slothful man. The diligent hunter takes his game for food, roasting, and considers it a precious possession, as he has food for his family's table.
As an atheist, I do not believe in gods due to the entire lack of evidence to justify belief. For that reason, the Bible holds no authority over me, as it is just another book that makes grand claims that cannot be verified to be true. Quoting passages from its pages to defend animal exploitation is utterly a waste of time because I couldn't care less what it has to say. The morality of a society 2,000 years ago has little bearing on my worldview today. If I were to accept certain passages in the Bible as true, then I would have to hold views on slavery, rape, genocide, murder, and even science that I am not prepared to have. My worldview is far more morally centered than anything contained within the Bible, Quran, or the Torah. And rounding off the list this week is a comment from Moonbeam Rider 1 who said,
"Actually, saturated fats are very healthy. I consume a massive amount of them, and I am completely healthy. No high HBP or high cholesterol. Don't feed the myth."
I am by no means a health professional, and at best I can direct you to more qualified people. However, this nonsense regarding the health benefits of saturated fat is horrible advice and is dangerous and unethical. The paleo community, a group of people who strive to eat the diet of the cavemen, proclaim that saturated fat is beneficial. Yet these claims are in the face of hundreds of studies to the contrary. Saturated fats, primarily found in animal products, have been deemed unsafe, and the suggestion of all leading health organizations and health professionals is to reduce or eliminate it from one's diet. Medical, heart health, and government authorities such as the World Health Organization, the American Dietetic Association, the Dietitians of Canada, the British Dietetic Association, American Heart Association, the British Heart Foundation, the World Heart Federation, the British National Health Services, the United States Food and Drug Administration, and the European Food Safety Authority advise that saturated fat is a risk factor for cardiovascular disease, which is the leading cause of death worldwide. There are a few authors touting the benefits of saturated fats. However, it's more about making outrageous claims to entice book sales than to improve the health of an already unhealthy society. There you have it. 5 stupid comments from 5 different YouTubers. Which comment would you vote to win the Dumbass of the Week award? Would it be 1. Alexander G, who thinks it's better to live a life of torment than not to live at all? 2. C. Samzi, who thinks that animals should live the best possible life, therefore he eats free range? 3. J187U thinks that you can care for humans or animals but not both? 4. Trucker9358, who gets his morality from the Bible? Or 5. Moonbeam Rider 1, who thinks that all leading health organizations have it wrong and the solution to heart disease is more saturated fat? Please leave your votes and comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, remember to press the like button and share. If you enjoyed this video, click the like button below. To ensure that you don't miss out on future content, click the subscribe button and bell to be notified of new uploads. Interested in atheist-related videos? Check out my other YouTube channel devoted to atheist and religious content. Link is in the video description below. Lastly, if you like the work that I do and have a few bucks to spare, please consider becoming a patron of the channel by supporting my Patreon project. I am more than halfway to reaching my $100 a month goal. Please help if you can. Thank you for your ongoing support, and as always, thank you for watching.